Hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Clara. I am the co founder of List Perfectly. But today I have someone special for you. She made herself available, and with much further ado, let's welcome Amanda Morse, our CEO. Welcome, Mandy.
Hello. Good to be here with you, with everybody. Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing good today.
Absolutely. What a topic today, Amanda. The community is going they're doing a lot of questions. That's good. That's good. So we need your input, Amanda. We need your wisdom. And, I just want to make a brief introduction to remind everybody we're the co-founders of List Perfectly. And just want to let you know, I am your non-technical co-founder, and Amanda is the technical guru, like I say, okay, the one that wants to deal with all that technical aspect of List Perfectly. One of the things, okay, that make List Perfectly us as ourselves is that we built it for ourselves as resellers. All right. So Amanda built it initially for me, and this became on a tool that it's being used for over 10,000 customers on daily basis. So here I want to explain, okay, that we not only have sponsor PoshFest, we've been main sponsors of PoshFest 2 years in a row, okay, last year and prior to that, okay, so we were in Nashville, we were in Texas, so we have a very close relationship with Poshmark. One of the things that initially, and also I want to, if I'm not mistaken, Poshmark was our third platform or second platform we added, Mandy?
Oh, no, I mean, it was one of the first right out
One
of
of
the
the
gate. We
first.
started. That was the thing for us. We knew that, Claire and I, we were selling primarily on eBay,
Right.
Etsy, and our own website.
Right.
And, as soon as we added Poshmark, that's when we knew, oh my gosh, we got to get other people on this software. So it
Right.
was right out of the gate. We had Poshmark.
Yeah. So Poshmark is a platform, as you guys know, that does social commerce. And that's what we're going to talk about today. What is social commerce? So social commerce is the way that you're going to organically promote yourself, okay? And this is what Poshmark does best, okay? And I love my friends at eBay, but when it comes to marketing, kudos to Poshmark. So as a buyer, Amanda, when I go to, let's say, Amanda's Closet, guys, uh, Poshmark does such a great campaign. If I don't buy from Amanda, they're gonna be like, "Hi, Clara. This is Amanda's other items, or this is Amanda, sending you an offer, etc." So they're working so hard. They have put a lot of money on research and development, so they can promote the listings for you. So this is why they're introducing their excessive listing removal policy. So Amanda, would you like to dive in and let's just go to the nitty gritty a little about what are your thoughts about this policy and our community?
Yeah, from my own personal belief, I really feel like it's about time they do it. And the reason is because one thing that we've always said from day one is you want to optimize your listings. You don't want
Right?
to delete them and just put the same listing up again in
Right.
order to game the system, right? It's really just like tricks, oh, I can get a little more visibility if I just do this on a regular basis. It's no different. It's the same listing.
Right.
So what happens is if you're a new seller starting out, you
Uh-huh.
get drowned. You're drowned out by the competition of everybody using automated, delist, relist tools. And it's not fair. Honestly, it's just not fair
Not
for.
only, and you know what? Not only for sellers, Mandy, but what about me, buyer? That when I get that email from Poshmark telling me, get this from Amanda, she's sending you an offer, and I go there and it's a 404 page.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I mean, when you delist, relist, all of that history that's been built up, the web searches, the traffic, maybe the other people that put you on the watch list, gone. I mean,
Right?
all that's just gone. And so, yeah, I mean, you're losing out on a lot. Maybe you get like a temporary bump, but
Uh-huh.
it's temporary, and you can actually get the same exact bump by just refreshing your listings. It's the
Right.
same. That's
Right.
why Clara and I have always like preached that, don't delist, relist, optimize your listings. And that's
Right.
why, not we focus on listing assistant as a way to create listings, but it can
Right.
also be used to refresh your listings, make it a little different. Run it
Right.
through listing assistant again if you don't want to do the work to change your title and all that. We give you the tools.
Right, right, right. So, do you mind if I dive in? I'm gonna share the Poshmark policy, Mandy, and I ask you
Yeah.
questions. All right. So here you have it. Can you see my screen, Mandy?
Yep.
All right. So this is a section that is very confusing to our community. Would you like to elaborate? What do I do, Amanda? Shall I sold it in eBay, right? Typical,
Yeah.
because as you know, least perfectly, we always been very close to eBay, all right? Our second biggest platform is Poshmark. So, what should I do? I sold out, all right? Should I mark it not for sale? Should I delete? Should I maybe do something else? What do you think? What are your thoughts on this? What counts as excessive listing removal and relisting that is effective since May 1st?
All right. This is where I get a little nerdy on you.
I know it. Go for it.
All right. So my best, and I don't know, honestly, I don't know what the engineering team at Poshmark is doing. This
Sure.
is just based on what I think and what I suppose is happening. Is
And
that
what we talk with Poshmark, because we've
yes,
been.
of course.
I just
Of
want to
course.
put out, yes, we are in communication with Poshmark. Okay, just want to
Yes,
make it clear.
but obviously they're not going to divulge their technology to me.
Of course.
So what I think is going on under the hood, technologically speaking, is that
Yeah.
they've built the detection to determine how often you delist or
Hmm.
mark for sale. Not they're not going to do the chain of this listing was listed on this date and then you just relisted it now, and we have all that saved in our system, and so now you're in violation of the policy.
Right.
As far as I can tell, they did not do that. They are only monitoring excessive delisting right now.
Right.
And so how do they determine that? Well, it's probably a complex algorithm of how many items do you have in your closet and how many are you delisting,
And
and
your behavior.
your behavior. So like a lot of sellers have a practice of okay, once a day or a week or whatever that is, I'm going to go in and I'm going to delist all of my listings at once that have sold. They're legitimately sold listings. And to be honest, whether you're using List Perfectly or you're doing this manually, it could trigger their algorithm. And that is what that's what I'm surmising at this point. And I think they're going to refine things as time goes on.
Absolutely.
But right now, that's the situation. And so what they recommend as best practices is that you space out your delisting or
Thank you for
marking
bringing
not
that.
for sale. Or you can do either. It's not that you can no longer
Yeah,
mark not
that's
for
a key
sale.
right now that people are using for delisting and relisting. They go market not for sale.
Yeah, I mean that's not any different than deleting.
Right.
Whether you mark it not for sale or deleting, it's the
Mm.
same thing when it comes to this policy.
Right.
So you might want to continue to use not for sale because it's a form of advertising.
Exactly.
I mean, Clara and I
Yeah,
used to
go
use it.
deeper in that feature, the mark not for sale. Why does Postmark has that feature, Amanda?
Well, I mean, imagine they've done the work to put that item maybe on Pinterest, on the web search, all of that. And if you sell it and then you just delete it, then when you go to Poshmark, you see it, you're interested, you get a 404 not available, like it doesn't exist. Instead, when you mark it not for sale, you actually see the listing. It may not be available, but you as a buyer might be curious, oh wow, if they had that item, what else do they have? So
Right.
it's that form of advertising that's really important to us resellers because we need every edge that we possibly can to make a sale. So I always recommend not for sale, but you need to be careful now whether, and it's the same if you delist or market not for sale. If that item, let's say you sell it, you legitimately sell it, but within 60 days, it comes back as a return. Do not list it again for sale on Poshmark until that 60-day clock is up. And so, yeah, that's what I can say about that. It's the same. Treat it exactly the same.
Right.
Not for sale or deleting.
Okay. Perfect. So, what would you say, anything else, for example, how many, okay, but let's go to the nitty gritty. How many List Perfectly customers were affected by the policy, Amanda?
Really, I think anybody that was doing the delist, relist as a general practice for their business. And here's where
No,
this
I'm
is
talking about LP customers that got suspended or warned, for using our delist release. Zero.
oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I just want to clarify, zero LP customers. You're welcome to go to socials. You're welcome to go to every different channel. But us, because we don't offer, you can go to our Facebook group and we even see posts that I got suspended because I was delisting I set up to delist every more than 60 days and I got suspended. I'm like, we don't offer that service.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's because of the general practice that we've always had from day one is that, one of the other things that you need to watch out for is any service that collects your password and will do things on your behalf.
Why?
Well, I mean, think about it. You're
Uh,
giving them your password to just do anything on your account. That is actually against terms of service. Like these marketplaces understand you might need to hire help. You might need a virtual assistant, but they do not allow or approve of any automated service that you give your password to and then just let them run. Imagine the reason that List Perfectly is different is because we work on your computer through your browser, through your internet, right? It's you.
right.
It's essentially you. It's an extension of you. These
Uh-huh.
services are on a server who knows where. And
That's
Poshmark picks this up. If you're logged in from your house and you're doing stuff, and then all of a sudden somebody from wherever,
Argentina.
wherever is, yeah, I mean, wherever it is doing things at the same exact time, they might flag you as this is not.
Or even an hour later, you're in California, you're listing in California, and you're sharing from Argentina, Bangladesh, or maybe North Dakota. Of course, Poshmark can see this. So that's a good point that you're bringing up about this automation, because how is Poshmark now treating these automated services? So what could you add on that, Amanda?
Yeah. And I'll tell you by anecdotal evidence too.
Okay.
I would say, I mean, as far as I know, 99.999% of the time, whenever we've heard about somebody getting suspended because of this policy, they had an automated bot where they gave their passwords and they were just doing stuff on their behalf. Yeah. So the fact that they're looking at this, they're scrutinizing it is happening. It is happening. So what advice would I give? Well, number one, don't use those services. Number two, you definitely want to make sure that you mimic human behavior as much as possible. And honestly, even human behavior, if it's done too fast, can trigger the algorithm. So
I was going to say, thank you for bringing that up, and I'm going to highlight it, Mandy.
Yeah. I mean, it's just they're working out their algorithm, and we know that it's based on a lot of things, right? It's based on how long have you been on Poshmark, how many items do you have in your closet, how many sales do you typically have. It's just there's a lot that goes into the algorithm, and so the results really will vary from one person to another, and so there is no hard and fast rule here, and I want to emphasize that it really depends.
Yeah, because here on the new terms of service, they're talking about mass listing removals. So keep in mind, guys, that if I have a closet of 500 listings and I remove 15, all right, that could be considered a mass listing removal. Whether you did it manually or through automation, okay, it really depends of the size of your closet, your listing pattern, and what's more important, your sell-through rate or the ratio within you list and you sell.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do want to circle back to, you know, what does get you visibility in Poshmark?
Right.
And a lot of people may or may not realize this, but the way Poshmark is structured, they default you into a view of just shared. And now
Mhm.
just shared is not just sharing, that's also optimizing. That's when you revise your listing. You get bumped up whenever if you touch your listing in any way and change any one little thing, that is considered a revision, and it will bump you to that top of that just shared
Right.
list. And that is what buyers get to, you know, even when they start searching and they go and they get into a filtered view, the just shared is always going to be the primary default. And so what you want to do is always try organic ways of getting into that just shared bump. And that's why we say optimize your listing, revise it. Don't kill all of your history of that listing. Revise it. It's going to give you the same bump, and it's going to make your listing better too, rather than just rehashing the same listing over and over and over.
So, and I want to clarify that using that refreshing a listing, like Amanda said, it's equivalent as a share to not only updates the content, but will count as a share. But also we can do this through list perfectly. And I want to show you real quick. I'm going to share this video that you can find on the List Perfectly channel. And this is about update feature. The List Perfectly update feature is the equivalent of the refreshing that Poshmark wants. Okay, so I'm gonna be playing here. Can you see my screen, Mandy?
Yes.
Awesome.
I'd like to show you how to refresh and update your listings on Poshmark using List Perfectly. So as you can see, I have this listed on Poshmark, this skirt, and you can see it's in my closet here on Poshmark. So first, what I need to do is click the edit icon, and this opens up the listing as my edit in my edit form. And I think I'll change the order of my pictures. I think I'll put the measurement, the picture with the tape measure, the measurement over here towards the beginning. And then I think I want to remove the word layered in my title and add new and blue. And I'll go down here. I didn't have a style in here, so I'm going to go ahead and add the word floral. Then how about we do add a couple more keywords. I'm going to add the word layered and new. And then I think I'll change my price, but I'm going to increase my price. We'll see how that does. And also, if you want to change the quantity, you can do that. I've only have one of these skirts, so I'm not going to change the quantity. But that is something that you can do using List Perfectly if you would like to update the quantity. So I think that's all the changes I want to make to this listing. So I'll click Save and Close. And now that new information is saved in my listing. So what I want to do is I want to go back up here to the cross listing icon. Go ahead and click that. Then you click the Poshmark icon and click the update button. Now, if you want, say for instance, I had 7 or 8 listings that I only changed the price on, I can do this in bulk. You can do anything in bulk at any time, but I can do this in bulk if I want to. But since I did change several of the details, I want to go ahead and just leave it at update all listing details. So then I'll click confirm update. And what this does is it opens up that published listing that's already on Poshmark, and it's going in and changing the details that I had changed in my listing on List Perfectly. So as you can see, the image that I moved is now in a different spot. You go down here and you can see the title has been changed. And we also can see that the price has also been changed to what I increased it to earlier. So then once you go through and double check all your details, then you can go ahead and click update and then click list this item, and it's going to republish that refreshed listing on Poshmark with all of my new details.
Well done, Kim. Oh my God, that was a good video. What did you think about that, Mandy? Can you add anything?
Yeah, great video. I mean, just side note, just a tip.
Mhm.
I
See,
thought Kim gave a great tip about raising prices, because believe it or not, that has worked 50% of the time, I want to say, for Clara and I. Believe it or not, like, there is a psychology to buyers, and if they see your item is too cheap, they'll think, what's wrong with it, right? Where if it's more expensive, they might think it's higher quality. So
that's right.
and it might be, I mean, you're great sellers, so you put more care and time into your listing, of course it's going to be higher quality.
Of course. So does the update feature, when I do it from LP, would it give you also the sharing feature as
Yeah.
I'm doing it in Poshmark, please?
Yes, I mean, that's so you're talking about getting that bump on the sharing page. Did I hear your question right, Clara? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, that's what it does. When you optimize and you update your listing, it is the same bump as delist relist.
All right, awesome. Hey, before we keep moving, Mandy, I'm gonna put some of your questions. Okay, so we're gonna do rapid questions for you, Mandy.
All right.
Restated thread. Thank you for watching. So if I have a return, I shouldn't release it for 60 days.
Yeah, not on Poshmark. Nope, don't do it.
All right, until they fix their algorithm. Obviously, that's not what Poshmark wants, so hang in there. Pam, okay? Thank you, Pam, for asking that question. All right.
But let's
oh,
see, maybe there's an asterisk there, all right? If you sell it on Poshmark, Poshmark already knows that it's not like a delist relist, right? Like that, but that's the thing, like, then you get into
sold it on eBay.
Yeah.
I deleted it on Poshmark. Then I get the return back on eBay. Avoid relisting on Poshmark within that 60-day. So, okay.
That's right. So that would be the one asterisk I would put.
Thank you, Mandy. I love it. You're always on the details. Andrea. How are you, Andrea? What if I edit the listing? Like if you find an error and you need to edit it?
Yeah, I mean, that I can't tell you how many times, as careful as Clara and I were when we were manually listing, like back in the old days.
And even now with technology, we have the word alert because still happens, Mandy.
It's true. So, when we would go through our listings, we would find all kinds of stuff like, that's not blue, that's black. Like, what was I thinking? What happened?
I know. And then Andrea says, by doing that, does it wipe out the prior data? I'm assuming she must be talking about, I think you're talking about delisting and relisting. When you delist and release with LP, we'll create a whole new listing with a whole new listing ID. That's correct, right, Mandy?
Yeah, that is correct. So yeah, I mean, it's really up to you. We don't recommend, like I said, we don't recommend deleting and relisting at all. We recommend updating so that nothing is wiped out. I mean, it's just the particular edits that you want to apply will be applied and everything else remains untouched.
Hachi saying, is it possible to build a bot to fill in the critical listing characteristics when cross-posting to eBay, such as shirt length, etc., etc.?
Yeah, I mean, so you're talking about like when you do your measurements.
He's just calling it a bot, Mandy. I know you're like going to bot. Okay, Hutch, I know you call it a bot, okay, but obviously it's not a bot, okay. So listing assistant is our AI that generates listings from 1 to 6 images, very different from Poshmark AI. I invite you to test it, but definitely we already have it. And let me show, you know what, Mandy, I'm sorry I interrupted you, but I want to show how to delist, optimize, delist, release with list perfectly. Why don't we do that, Mandy?
Sure.
Okay, let's go there. Did I get the right one? Hold on. Nope, that's not the one. Okay, here we are. Can you see my screen, Mandy?
Yes.
Beautiful. Here we go.
We're going to take a look at how to optimize listings in List Perfectly. And then after you optimize them, you can delist and relist those optimized listings. And first I'll go in and I'll show you right here. Say, well, let's go ahead and do these shorts. This is kind of an old listing. So I'll show you how we optimize this using Listing Assistant. We'll click Listing Assistant. And then you can either you can optimize your listing using the images.
Hold on, let me ask the audience if they can hear. Can you hear, Mandy?
I can hear, but it's low.
Can you
turn up the volume if
No,
you're listening at home?
as it goes, okay? Can you guys hear? Tommy, can you hear, my love? All right, I just want to make sure. And if not, Mandy, can you just speak over it?
Sure.
Do us the honors, okay? So hold on, let me remove myself so you stay with the I'll remove it.
All right, so we're looking at Listing Assistant right now. Go ahead and hit.
You can scan a barcode. I'm going to go.
Okay, so what Kim is doing is she's creating a listing from the images. She uploaded her images. Now what she's doing is selecting a tone. And this is what really makes your description stand out from everybody else. Slightly funny. Honestly, like some people love it and they actually say it gets them sales because it's funny. I mean, you know, we have very funny, we have slightly funny, but what Kim basically did was she optimized her listing from the images. And just because you've run Listing Assistant at one time doesn't mean that you can't run it again on the same listing. You can run Listing Assistant as many times as you want on that listing and continue to optimize it, which is what we recommend. Just give it a quick look and make sure that the listing has the right details. And, you know, like Kim is doing now, she's just confirming. And then once that's done, you can use the same update feature and send that listing over to whatever marketplace that you want to update it on. So, I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, she's showing you for demonstration purposes, but it's pretty quick to go in, refresh your listing, and then push it out there to Poshmark. So she's using the bulk edit right now. That's another feature that we have, and she's going to adjust her prices here. But yeah, when you click that bulk edit, and by the way, you can actually apply a filter. If you, let's say you want to adjust prices on pants or jackets or whatever it is you want to adjust prices on globally, you can apply a filter, click that bulk edit your prices, and then update. Use the update feature and update it on the marketplaces.
Just to clarify, Mandy, this one is delist relist, okay?
Okay, all right. So yeah, I mean, we can delist, relist. I mean, it's up to you. You can either update it or you can delist, relist. We have both options available. Some people, and if you are going to delist it, like we would do that, but we would wait a good amount of time. Like if it's an item that, wow, it was clearly wrong, right? So it got out there, it went to Google, and it had all the wrong information. Like you don't want that listing out there in the universe. You probably do want to use that delist, relist. But, you know, we give you options, I think is the main point.
Right. So do we optimize first and then we click delist, relist, or do I click delist, relist first and then optimize, Mandy?
No, first you want to optimize, because when you just click delist, relist, it's not getting any of your updates. So you want to do that optimization first. That's what's really going to make your listing stand out. That at that point, it truly is a different listing.
Right. Awesome. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify because there you can see the delist release button, and you can see after end listing, the green button, you can see the also the update feature on delist release. So here is Kim showing on her closet, all right, the listings that we are delisting and relisting. And because we use the list perfect, you can do the listing assistant, you can do it with barcodes, you can do it with templates, you can do it manually. Any possible. You can do manually individual, manually in bulk, like Kim just showed and Mandy was narrating. But here is Kim showing you how it's perfectly delisted. And by the time you click the delete release button, already includes all the changes that we did. In that way, you're not putting the same content. This is what Poshmark doesn't not want to see you clicking delete and release of the same content just to get an unfair advantage of visibility, right, Mandy?
That's right. And by the way, there is no restriction on how many times you can update. None. The restriction applies to specifically to delist, relist, and that's it.
That's right. That's right. So in this case, we're seeing how Kim was able to up easily give a fresh content to listings. In this case, you saw it. This is not it's not speed up the demo. Okay, this is literally how it is, and you see how you have to select categories. Do you see how it's not automated? Believe me, Amanda and myself, we can build that. Okay, but this is the reason why Liz perfectly broke down the process like this, so you don't get in trouble and you don't get out of compliance. So it's clear to, I want to just clarify that Poshmark does mention that any software that is fully automated and not being capable of behaving like a human is out of compliance.
That's right. That's right. And you don't, I mean, really, I understand, like we're all busy, right? And everybody wants to save a little time here and there, but it's not saving you time to give your passwords to an automation company and risk your account. It's not worth it.
Yeah, and like you said, just giving your Poshmark password. Oh yeah, when do we collect Poshmark password, Mandy?
Never.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that. Okay.
No, your passwords are yours. They're secure. They're with you.
So if anybody tells you that LP needs your password, no, we don't. Okay, and there is a reason why we build it like that. Okay, Lisha, thank you. Trade says, so editing a listing that is less than 60 days old in any way is for example, CCO is fine. Is it just if you relist it less than 60 days?
That is correct. You can update that listing as many times as you want. There is no restriction.
Okay, perfect. Oh my goodness, this is going well. Okay, cha-ching. Thank you. All right, so now let's go to the fun part. Amanda, I'm confused. Okay, so Poshmark does talk in community guidelines, okay, about automation, compliance, spammy bots, what's going on there. So tell us a little about Poshmark community. What is the difference between community guidelines and terms of service, Amanda?
Yeah, community guidelines are basically, guidelines that they have that they want you to adhere to make the community a better place, right? They don't want bad behavior and things like that. Terms of service are literally like contract breaking things. Like if you violate a term of service, you could get suspended.
Right.
That's different than community guidelines. Community guidelines are like, hey, like just play nice. Yeah, play nice.
Practices. Okay, but definitely the terms of service, it's something that you must comply with in order to sell. It's not optional. It's not just a best practice or recommendation. We wish you would do this. Now they're like, or you do this or else. So I that's important to clarify. So we talk about the automated sharing, the password-based services, anything else that before we move on to the, how this perfectly keeps you compliant, anything else that we are leaving, forgetting about this topic, Mandy?
I would just say focus your energy on listing, that, and I understand You know, the idea is I don't want to keep a lot of inventory. I just want to quick turn, sell my items. But, you know, what always worked for Clara and I, and this is just a tip, is instead of focusing on, you know, the delist relist train, we would just do an assessment and inventory at certain times of the year where we would go through and then optimize those older listings. But where the bulk of our energy was focused on is acquiring new inventory and listing it. And I would say, you know, that's the path to success.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just want to remind everybody, you know, we're very happy, okay, that we have people are signing up for List Perfectly, but we know that some of you, because we don't have a free plan, we have a free trial, all right? 100 free listings that you get to keep, all right? But if anybody in the audience is curious about how to get LP for free, ask in the chat and I will let you know by the end of this live. And also, I want to remind you that this is more like you guys have to ask us, type the question, but join us at Listing Party when we finish this live, okay? If you're not in Listing Party, every List Perfectly customer has free access, unlimited, to these sessions, all right, in which we're going to be with Amanda joining after, so you can have a dialogue with us, okay? So we're looking forward to see you on Listing Party after this live. All right, Mandy, so let's go with how List Perfectly keeps you compliant. And for that, I do have, I think I have a video. I do. All right. Bear with me, and I'm gonna play the video that Patrick did about List Perfectly sharing tool, the sharing tool that does not ask you for passwords, okay? And let me share here a window. Oh, here we go. Can you see my screen, Mandy?
Yes.
All right, let's do this.
Perfectly's Poshmark tools run through a Chrome extension installed on your own device. It means your browser must be open and your computer must be on, and no activity happens unless you start it. You never share your Poshmark password with List Perfectly, and it's never stored. The sharing tool helps you to stay active on Poshmark by letting you schedule shares from your own closet or others, with limits and time delays to keep your activity natural. The following tool allows you to follow or unfollow closets at your own pace. And the send offers tool allows you to send offers out based on likes that come to your closet and based on specific settings that you set up in the List Perfectly extension.
Perfect. There we go. So there you have it. So we do offer LP offers, like you can see, very, very specific details in these. What is most important to understand is that with List Perfectly, we build. Tell us about compliance, Mandy.
Yeah. So, you know, first of all, like Clara said, we're never going to ask you for your passwords. We're never going to run any of these tools on your behalf without you authorizing it, right? So, and we're not going to do that on a remote server that is not in your house. I mean, wherever you work, in your office, wherever it is that you do your reselling business, that is where these activities take place. And so, you know, what we've done is we put a lot of settings in place because we know that, you know, there's some people out there that maybe they have 100 items in their closet, but they want to share them like 100 times a day. And
people, wait. I love that you said this. Can you believe that people were delisting and relisting like 5,000 to 10,000 listings a day?
Yeah, I mean, it's excessive. And so, yeah, you don't want to engage in any of that type of behavior. So what you want to do is just set reasonable guidelines. Use the tools, but set reasonable guidelines for them. Don't expect your entire closet to be shared 100 times a day. That's not good practice. That's probably going to get you flagged. I mean, you know, whatever, even if you're doing that, if you hire a team of people to do that in your house on your behalf, that's still going to trigger something in Poshmark. So you want to use reasonable guidelines when you use the tools. And that's the way we built our sharing tool.
Exactly. Tammy, how are you? Tammy says it's been almost 2 years on Posh. Is it safe to delist and release? Yes, Tammy, you should be safe because you haven't been spamming the Poshmark marketplace with reposting, and they know now. Tammy, if you have been doing the rest with the other listings and using an automated service, I don't know that. You see, we need to know the whole context, okay? Because what they're looking at is your whole behavior as a reseller, delisting, listing, selling, etc. But you should be fine, Tammy. I know you. Tammy's amazing. So you're very compliant. Tammy, you're fine. Don't worry. Keep delisting, relisting with LP. You're safe. Update feature, sharing tool. Nobody is in share jail. Nobody has been suspended. All right. It's all over. You can visit all social media and list perfectly. You can see everything. Okay. So Tommy in Seattle, my love, how are you? So when would you suggest to assess your listings, Amanda?
Well, I can tell you what Clara and I used to do. And, by the way, I recommend that anybody watching this live comes over to Listing Party where we can get deep on a lot of these topics. But,
Yep.
I'll just say in brief here that we would pick a couple, like 2 or 3 times a year where we would do a deep inventory, and I mean deep. And we would go through and we would identify listings that fell out of inventory. It happens, right? Though usually what would happen is they would be sold and then returned. And, somewhere in that process, they just fell out of the listing inventory on eBay or wherever we had them. So we would just go through, we would take a look at a lot of the listings, and we would just, as we would do inventory, we kind of look at the titles, we'd look at the pictures, and we'd say, "Ooh, yeah, I can see why that item didn't sell." So I'm actually shocked to hear a lot of sellers have never done inventory and been selling for years. I don't recommend that. I think inventory is a really good
Physical
practice.
inventory and matching with virtual. I just want to clarify, okay?
Yeah.
Because just going on physical, no. You have to be, you can do it LP mobile, you can do it with desktop, and then you can see, what it's on. I wish I would have had LP mobile back then. But I just wanted to say that I remember doing it was I think we would do it once per quarter. And that would be a way that we're auditing our own. We would do inventory, listing quality, auditing. We would do pricing, auditing, and then we would do trendy. We would check on trends, because what was you don't know, that shirt that Amanda is wearing right now, it's being worn by, I don't know, Taylor Swift, okay? And tomorrow that shirt that was $50 is gonna be $3,000. Like we sold the Pharrell Williams jacket. We sold so many things. I'll never forget the 12 Monkeys, Bruce Willis, the Matt Larson jacket. We sold so many things like that. So this is what Poshmark wants. Put a little effort, stop the automation insanity. I've been saying that if the auto delist, okay, the one-click automated delist release was money, we would have built it we've been in business in 2017 with Amanda, when we were list clothing guys. We would have built it back then. But it's literally, and Poshmark doesn't want to sell less. They don't want to be out of business. They're doing this. We have the data. We have the data. Please trust what we're telling you. This is the best for you. It's just a change that is it gonna sometimes make random mistakes. Okay, yes, even one friend got a suspension, that I elevate one. Okay, Katie Silverberg, okay, got a a warning, not a suspension, I'm sorry, a warning. Okay, and we sent that to Poshmark, and they were like, oops, algorithm mistake. Okay, we'll fix it. Okay, but we have not got any suspensions, knock on wood. Okay, and we're doing everything that it takes to keep you compliant. And that's just something very, very important. Let's see. Okay, so before Mandy, we talk about refreshing how to safely cross list and manage inventory with Poshmark. We want to talk about before I just want to give some cases, success cases. from resellers. Okay, so I just want to put here, this is Kaylee Elaine. All right, so as you can see, we did an incredible session with her. I highly recommend it. In one day, almost 600 views. This is incredible. She's talking about Poshmark, like any other list perfectly reseller. Mostly we come from eBay, and then she explored Poshmark. As you can see, we have her on lives. We also have Kat the Nurse Flipper here with tips and reseller tricks and tips. All right, so don't forget to watch Kat the Nurse Flipper. But I just want to give you a couple. We have Tamsin. We have so many examples of success with List Perfectly on Poshmark that have not get and everybody from small seller, bigger sellers, no concerns, no suspensions when it comes to compliance with Poshmark. Anything you would like to add to that, Mandy, before we?
You know, we put a lot of best practices into the software. I mean, you know, and so I think we allow you to use List Perfectly in the way that works with your business, but you know, we always do so with an eye on making sure that you are in compliance. Like, we're not going to ask for your passwords, like we said. We're going to make sure that any action that we take is going to be at your approval. And, you know, it's why we have you complete the listing on the marketplace. It's you doing it. And it's not an automation. Like, you're actually seeing that listing live on the marketplace when you click publish. You can verify it's correct. It looks good. It's the way it should be.
Right. And I want to add that there is a blog post. Bear with me. Where are you, Tab? Be nice to me. Not that one. That's List Perfectly main menu. Let's see. So we did a blog post with adapting to Poshmark. Here we go. So here you have it. I put the link on the chat, all right? But whether you're watching this live or you're watching it later, don't worry, it's on the chat, and that it's also in the description of our YouTube live or the Facebook live. And here is the adapting to Poshmark update, excessive listing policy, what is allowed, what is discouraged, how List Perfectly stays compliant, human control automation, responsible sharing, all right? Strategic updates, okay? The video that we just shared with you, how to optimize delist relist using listing assistant, the current opportunity for resellers. Can we talk about this, Amanda? Because we have many people scared, and especially because we have other companies that are non-compliant, putting information like list every 7 days and you'll be fine, don't worry about it.
What would bad information out there?
Yeah.
Careful.
So what would you say about, is there a current opportunity for resellers?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that, you know, for all the sellers that relied on these tricks in order to gain visibility, you now have an opportunity to actually get visibility through real legitimate ways, like, you know, optimizing your listing, making it better, making it more buyer friendly. Try things like, you know, one of the tools that we have with Listing Assistant is the tones, and I can't recommend them enough. Like, you know, one day, why don't you just try like take a stale listing and put a very funny tone on it, see what happens. You don't like it, change it again, optimize it again. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have said that for some listings that have been sitting around for a long time, they put that very funny tone on and they sell like almost immediately. So I would just say this is your time to experiment with new techniques that will actually get you legitimate visibility and may actually boost your business.
Right. Andrea, are you there? All right. She's asking, how do I get 100 free listings for free. So Andrea, anybody can get 100 free listings for free. All you have to do is you sign up with LP, all right? It's not a free plan. You get the free listings, but all you have to do is just stay within 100 listings. If you don't like it, you can cancel, no problem. We issue a refund right away, but we know you're gonna love it. Imagine we're giving you 100 free listings to test, whether any plan you can test this from the simple to the Pro Plus. So any plan that you wish to share. So, but today, Andrea, if you email us at community at least perfectly, Andrea Campanile, okay, I will take care of you, and will take care of you. So Andrea, welcome to the List Perfectly family, and we're happy to have you here. And Kathy's here. Kathy, my love, you may need to show the LP members how to get to listing party. There have been questions about that lately in the eBay meetings. Oh, thank you, friends at eBay. All right, Mandy, would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah. So listing party is where we provide a platform for you to come and join other sellers, have conversations. You guys all meet virtually, and we have either structured meetings that have a topic, or there's 24-hour rooms. You can share your listings with other members. You can connect with them. It's our platform that we provide to all List Perfectly members at no additional cost to, either just help you with motivation, help you with just making it less lonely to resell online. And I would just say,
Tammy, Kathy's asking, how do I log in? So do I need to create a different login credential? How does it work, Mandy?
for all you have to be a List Perfectly subscriber. But if you are, you just go to listing party, click login, and then you're in. Yeah. And
yeah, and then you create a profile, and that's about it. So here it is. You'll create a profile. Mine is Clara Albornoz at Clara. So my experience levels 6 to 14. I sold on eBay, Etsy, Instagram, Mercari, Poshmark, and WooCommerce. Apparel, footwear, and accessories, vintage. That's my specialty. You can fill in as much or as little. And then in the upper right corner, we have the menu in which you click events, all right? And then you just click join the party. And if it is on the future, like Star Price on My Love, okay, where she's gonna be doing today True Crime and List, all right, you can add it to the calendar. You can add it to your Google Outlook or download the event for any kind of reminder that you might need. So I just wanted to clarify that there is no need, okay, to create a separate login credential. You just use the same thing that you use with listing party. The Artful Journey, my love, how are you? Can we suggest new additional tones to add to the mix? Oh, Mandy, all right. Okay, you got it. Kelly, is that you? I think it's you. Okay, so I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. Okay, but I think it's you. So I think definitely, Mandy, get on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I mean, we have some updates coming for Listing Assistant. I think you're gonna like them.
Andrea is saying I didn't get that email. Very easy. Community, right? At leastperfectly.com. All right, Andrea, we'll take care of you. Thank you so much. There it is. Tiffany Clark is saying use. You can use Tiffle's Closet discount code to sign up for LP and get 30% off. Okay, so yeah, welcome. Oh, thank you, Kathy, for bringing that up. Okay. Oh, I love you too, Tommy. I love you too. All right, guys. So we're coming to the end of this amazing session. What a whirlwind of information. So join us now on Listing Party. We take a 5-minute break. Amanda and myself, we will be there, and we will be talking about practical, actionable, okay, and solutions to reassure you that Poshmark is doing changes that might be hard for you to understand. But I can assure you, Amanda and myself will got your back, will keep you safe, will keep you compliant and selling more. Thank you, Mandy. Any last words from you?
Just join us at Listing Party. We can't wait to see you there and continue the conversation.
Sounds good. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mandy. Have an amazing weekend. Go list to Poshmark. Take advantage. Bye.
Bye.